So I'm just double checking the shape and the positioning of the eyelashes where I've got them. Just showing how, just a little rounder there. Basically, whatever colour you put down first, you can then sort of fills the very bottom of the tooth of the paper, so you can come back to with a little bit of erasing, and there are a couple of little techniques, or subtract, I'd say. It's probably a better way of putting it. You're not really erasing your work. Excuse me. There we go. Little cute foley. So the next step with my black pencil, and that was a burnt ochre, if anybody's interested. I want to get the shape of the eye. Now this is hugely important. So if the eye is too flat or too bulbous, it's gonna look odd. So I really, at this point, I'm just staring at the screen almost, really checking back. So I'm visually measuring, I'm looking at my reference, thinking whereabouts in the top eyelid is that eyeball starting. How round is it? How can I recreate that? Where's the lowest point of the curve? And how steep is the curve? How oval or round is the eye? How straight, this area is quite straight. And that will really help your animal look real. You know, I've often found, especially with doing animal portraits, you get the eyes looking right, and you can sort of be forgiven for quite a few other little things that maybe won't work so well. But get the eyes wrong, lose the correct expression, and you've lost in the drawing. See, there's the fold of the eyelid. So again, I'm doing really, really light layers at this stage, not pressing heavily, really light. Noticing there's a curve there, and that's the lowest point, and then it starts to curve out and round, and you can just see it through the eyes. Really, really light, so it doesn't look black, does it, at the moment, because I'm using so little pressure. And there's another little line of something or other. And this little foal is a New Forest foal. One of the photos I took last spring. Itching to get back out of my camera again this year, but unfortunately we've been a little curtailed in that. But I'm sure they'll still be there come the summer, and we're able to go out again. And just our lower eyelids. Really, really, really light pressure. Just about positioning. Just noticing how the shape goes. Okay. There's one. And then go to the second one. Same process again. The front of the eye is quite straight. Horses have the eyes on the side of their head, so they don't have brilliant depth, but they have pretty much, apart from a couple of blind spots, 360-degree vision. And their eyes are far away from their mouths, so when they're grazing, they can still see someone sneaking up on them. And again, just looking at the shape. This is one of the reasons I work from an iPad as well, is I can really enlarge the reference if there's some bits where I'm thinking, what on earth is that? What's going on? Now I'm really clued up with the anatomy of a horse's eye, but sometimes it just doesn't quite look how it thought it should, and then I can enlarge it and have a good old check and make sure I'm right. It really helps when you're drawing animals to understand, you know, their basic anatomy. And you want to just have a little double check. Now, are your eyes the same size? Of course, they're an animal. Sometimes they will have slightly different size eyes, like us. And also across the skull, are they reasonably level? Again, just really, that's the biggest thing I think I can say to people in those, you know, just be so light with your layers. Going in too heavy is one of the biggest pitfalls for this style of drawing anyway. And for this, because I'm working with such precision, just to outline that, I've got a pretty sharp point on my pencil. But as long as you keep turning it, you shouldn't need to keep sharpening, and this paper's not that greedy with the pencil either. So it's slightly too curved there, but I think we'll get around that. That's not the end of the world. Just a little bit. Paying attention to where the light source is coming from, how the shadows are falling. The light is so important. It can make or break a piece. And I really like quite dramatic lighting. It's not always easy to get the photos, but that's if I can. Okay. Excuse me. So I want to start to build up a little bit of colour. So I'm choking away. So I'm going to use a warm grey. Where are we? These are all Pablos so far, just around the eyelid, and it just sort of, you see, just put the layers on, just sort of blends it slightly. And it doesn't need to be 100% accurate to your drawing. As long as it stands out and it stands alone in its own right and still looks accurate. So like I haven't, for the mane, you can just see I haven't copied every single hair exactly. I've just gone with a general idea. Life's too short to be being that precise. Excuse my coughing. Just layering in small. If I want to get the colours working together, then I'm just applying a little bit more pressure. Just visual blend. We can add a little more. Just soften the edge, I just work out over it. The eye itself, they look very dark in the photo, but a horse's eyes are generally very rich brown. So usually I'm going to just sharpen this work with a sienna, the base colour, and that also fits in quite nicely with the eyelashes. So for the eyes, are going to look pretty black by the time I've finished, but by having these other colours in there, you give a bit more richness to the colour. Just putting some burnt sienna in the base of the eyelashes. Again, if there's little tiny bits in the paper that you don't want to fill, just don't want to fill with a normal stroke, just you can go a bit more vertical and dot them in that way. And the same on the other eye. I would tend as well to work on both eyes at the same time. rather than risk finishing one and then forgetting the process, and you end up with odd looking eyes because you haven't quite used the same colours. It's not an impossible thing to fix if you get it wrong, but I just find it easier. I know so much, you know, you can see that's already quite a nice smooth colour building up, and I just want to go back over the eyelashes with the burnt ochre, just to build the colour a little bit more. Then I want my walnut brown. Where are you hiding? Again, a nice dark brown. It's all circular. It's going to start to come outside.